clip, we're going to take a look at double stops. Which really just boils down to grabbing two notes at the same time. And we're going to look at where those come from and how you find the right ones to use. I basically look at it as though they're notes from the chords that are going on. Notes from the chords in the scale. And we're going to have the diagrams next that show us what these shapes look like. And then we're going to string some of them together and see how they work. So take a look at these diagrams. Here we have the different shapes that make up these double stops that we're going to look at. These three double stops, or basically just two notes at once, is what we can minimalize this to mean, are pulled from this major chord shape. And since this bar chord can be moved up and down the fretboard to form virtually any major chord, this opens up a lot of doors if you see how to move that around. The root and fifth we're pulling from, so we're pulling from the shape of the chord, and this would be square notes your root, here's your fifth. It sounds like this. Then here you have your root and your third. So here's your root, here's your third, your major third. It sounds like this. And then your third and fifth. So that would be those three shapes from that major chord. The other major chord, this guy, it also has the same shapes inside of it, or its own shapes inside of it. Here's your root and fifth, and then your root and third, now your third and fifth. And again, these patterns move up and down the fretboard, so this could be any chord you need it to be. Here's a minor chord form. It's the minor version of the big bar chord with the root on the E strings. And here are the root and fifth double stops. There's no difference between a root and fifth in the major or minor, but there is a difference between root and third. So here's your root third, and then your third and fifth, which is different between the major and the minor as well. Here's the other minor chord form with the root on the fifth string. And here are the double stops to go along with that. That's root and fifth, root and third, third and fifth. So, get these shapes down. You might want to print these out and have them handy. And then we're going to look at how to move between them in the next segment of this clip. The first one we're going to look at is the root fifth, which is the first one in that diagram. And when it went with this major chord, it was these two notes. So it's your root and your fifth, first and second strings. Now, the way to tie these together are you can look at it from the point of view as you're following the scale, like a G major scale in this case. So G, A, B, A, G. Or you could look at it from the point of view that you're following the chords in the scale. So in this case we would have G major, A minor, B minor, back to A minor, and G major. So those three chords are what we're gonna pull shapes from right now for this. And this works pretty friendly when you're playing in this kind of progression or this kind of style, and we'll get into more of that in another series. But for now, just that's what we're pulling from: G major, A minor, B minor. And so the fifths don't look any different whether they're major or minor. You've got root, fifth. you can strum these, or you can use your second finger for the bottom string, for this E string. Or you can pick them separately. So that's your fifths, and we're going to do the same thing with root and third. Same 3 chord shapes as our foundation. So we'd have major, minor, minor. If you strum these, since you have a string in between, you're going to have to mute that middle string. But you can do it. So you've got picking options. Strum. Or pick with your second finger. Now for the third and the fifth, we don't have the root, and so we're not establishing that tonic, that main, the G or the root of the chord that we're moving. So these offer up a little bit of a different harmonic flair. So we've got major, minor, minor. So those would be the 3 shapes that go along with either this major chord or the minor chord shape. And since these chords move all up and down the fretboard, we're able to slide this stuff around. If we're looking at this bar chord, the root on the 5th string bar chord, some people refer to it as that B shape. Then we're going to look at finding the root and 5th right here, and the same thing applies for sliding this up. If you're going to slide into minor, it doesn't matter, they're the same shape here. Now the root and third shifts over here, and here we do have to switch to a new shape if we're going to slide into minor. Again, these are all in those diagrams that we looked at a minute ago. So if you're using those 2 shapes to find your third and fifth, it would be here or a little weirder. Well, now that you know where to find these different locations and how to slide between them, expand on it, play around with it, and see if you can incorporate it into the stuff you're playing already. And remember, this follows the scale. So if you know that, if you know one particular note or a string of notes that you're already using in something, see if you can add these double stops to that string of notes and see if you can make it work. Practical application, that's the way to further your playing. So have fun with it.